Daniel worked as a graphic designer in a busy office in the center of the city. Phones rang constantly, co-workers moved quickly between desks, and conversations filled the room throughout the day. From the outside, his life looked perfectly normal. He had a stable job, friendly colleagues, and a routine that kept him busy. Yet inside, Daniel often carried a quiet feeling of loneliness that was difficult to explain. What made things harder was that Daniel actually cared deeply about people around him. He simply noticed things others seemed to miss. The tired expression in a co-worker's eyes, the forced smile someone used to hide stress, or the silence of a person clearly struggling inside. While others moved quickly past these small moments, Daniel felt them deeply, almost as if their emotions echoed inside his own heart. Over time, this sensitivity made him feel different from the people around him. During lunch breaks, his co-workers joked about sports, weekend plans, or funny stories from the office. Daniel sat with them and smiled, but often felt like his thoughts were somewhere deeper. It wasn't that he disliked these conversations. He simply felt emotions and situations with a depth that few people around him seemed to share. Many evenings he walked home slowly after work, replaying small moments from the day in his mind. A careless comment, a sad look on someone's face, or a quiet sigh from a stressed co-worker could stay with him for hours. While others seemed able to move on easily, Daniel carried those emotions with him. Sometimes it felt like his heart absorbed feelings that didn't even belong to him. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day, Daniel stopped in a small park on his way home. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm light across the grass. Families were sitting on benches, children were laughing, and friends were talking together. Watching them from a distance, Daniel felt a familiar thought rise in his mind. Why do I feel alone, even when people are all around me? Later that night, he sat quietly in his apartment and opened a Bible that had belonged to his grandmother. As he slowly turned the pages, his eyes stopped on a verse in Psalm 34:18. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." For a moment, Daniel simply stared at those words, letting them settle in his thoughts. He began to realize something he had never considered before. Perhaps his sensitivity was not something that separated him from others, but something that allowed him to understand people more deeply. People who feel strongly often notice emotional pain long before it is spoken aloud. They sense loneliness, worry, and hidden struggles that others overlook. Another verse later strengthened this understanding. In Ecclesiastes 4:10 it says, "If either of them falls down, one can help the other up." Daniel slowly began to understand that people who feel deeply are often the first to notice when someone else has fallen emotionally or spiritually. Gradually, his perspective began to change. His sensitivity allowed him to listen more carefully, care more sincerely, and offer compassion when others remain distant. If you sometimes feel alone because your heart feels deeply, remember this: a sensitive heart is not a broken heart. It is often a heart God can use to bring understanding and kindness into the lives of others. God bless you.